Okay, I'm gonna hit you with some true discourse. Discourse that you may not expect coming from me, but it's gonna happen. The world needs to know this. I'm tired of being a victim. Okay? So, here we go. Here is the take. Grooming is a myth. Grooming is not real. It's not a concept. It used to be a concept, but now it is not a concept. Grooming was a myth created by neurodivergent minors to try to incriminate us. Us, uh what, what would you would call us? Normal Generation Zers? I guess so. Look, I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you like it is. Very few people on the internet seem to actually know what the word grooming is. Now, I'm gonna say this. Now, this take is going to be completely arbitrary, and it's just me drawing my own lines. And I'm not saying that the law should dictate what is good and what is right, but I'll say this. Um, when it comes to Romeo and Juliet laws, I find them very agreeable. I don't like the ones that go up to like 4 years. But if you're like a 16-year-old dating a 19-year-old, or a 17-year-old dating a 20-year-old, I think that's I think that's probably okay. I think you're probably good to go. I don't think you're like, you know, a complete fucking reject at like 17 to not like comprehend what you're doing. Um, Now, once we get up into like 16-year-old dating 20-year-old or 17-year-old dating like 21-year-old, I think that's when we get sort of we get sort of sus. Um, Now, like for me personally, like as someone who's 20, as someone who was 19, I probably would have no interest whatsoever in someone 3 years younger than me. But I think that it's probably okay. I think that's probably fine. Um, Now, what I said earlier, when I said that grooming isn't real, it's because I think people on the internet, particularly neurodivergent minor girls, are horribly misusing it. You could like you could see sort of inklings of this during the whole like pyrocynical drama, if you were around for that. Essentially, the YouTuber pyrocynical was like accused of grooming when that's just like not what was going on at all. People seem to think that the act of grooming is like any vague romantic contact between like people who are like a couple of years apart, and one is, you know, the legal age limit or above the legal age limit and one is below. Grooming implies a specific process from which the older person hopes to um, manipulate the younger person into having sex with them, right? Whether or not that counts as like e-sex, I don't know if it does. I would say it probably should. You know, might as well, right? So there I'm seeing so many cases now where like girls are coming out and saying that they were groomed, when the fact of the matter is, like, they just had like a vaguely like sort of like, you know, a like flirtatious conversation with like a 19-year-old. I was like, what? And even funnier, there are people who are above legal age who say that they were groomed by like older people because they happen to have a large audience, like they're some kind of like celebrity or so on. So like the the definition of the word like grooming is like constantly just like being so bizarrely changed over and over again, right? And I just want to like alert you all to what the neurodivergent minors are doing. It's like, you know, that old meme where like where like black men in the South would get constantly wrongly accused of like raping like white girls. That is what's happening to us right now. We are the black men, and we need to be aware of this. We need to be aware of what the neurodivergent minors are doing. So, just little PSA, right? I am, I am, I am a true to heart grooming purist, and I want you all to know that shit ain't grooming. It's subpar. It's subpar grooming, simply.